Sadie please stand up? I repeat, will the real Slim Sadie please stand up? We're gonna have a problem here.
The antidote to a government controlled by a powerful few, a government that divides, is a government by the organized, energized, inclusive many. That's what this moment's about. That has to be the answer. You cannot sit back and wait for a savior.
Hold my hand, ooh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand, ooh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. If you get sleep or if you get night,
the cock's gonna call in the morning, baby.
and check the cupboard for your daddy's gun.
Red sun rises like an early warning.
The Lord's gonna come for your firstborn son.
His hair's on fire and his heart is burning.
So go to the river where the water runs.
Wash him deep where the tides are turning.
And if you fall, and if you fall, hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. The wolves will chase you by the pale moonlight.
Drunk and driven by a devil's hunger.
Drive your son like a railroad spike
Into the water, let it pull him under.
But though you lift him, let him drown alive.
The good Lord speaks like a rolling thunder.
Let that fever make the water run.
Let the river run dry.
Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way, a long, long, long way. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down.
Do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
We already
president?
have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my.
Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today.
Need souls, man. How many souls can you deliver to me today?
Deliver to you?
Take my hand. Walk in the valley of the darkness.
The Antichrist. Tens of millions of people are on the lookout for him and for signs of the end times.
When a person with this set of beliefs opens a newspaper, they are in a sense looking for the possibility that the Antichrist could appear there.
There are a lot of people who believe, yes, the Antichrist is alive and prepared now to take his place in the sequence of events leading up to the end of time as predicted in the book of Revelation.
Believers feel the end game has already begun.
The focus that the world has now on the rise of the Antichrist and the return of Christ, I believe the board is set and the pieces are about to move.
The Antichrist has topped most wanted lists for the last 2 millennia. Prophecy believers have never stopped hunting for this figure, Christ's evil opponent, Satan's human representative on earth at times. He is both dreaded and, oddly enough, welcome.
There's hope in the figure of the Antichrist as well, because it signals the end of the world, which signals a reunion with Jesus Christ and a perfected humanity.
Many believers say the Antichrist's arrival is imminent. If so, what signs do believers see of his handiwork? And how is the world being prepared for his reign of terror? During the Cold War, Many in the West saw the Soviet Union as an agent of the Antichrist. After its empire dissolved, some began to look at the U.S. and its role as sole superpower.
But many see the American empire as beginning to manifest all the characteristics of the Antichrist: coercive power, controlling power, unilateral power.
It is the same question that our nation is asking.
It means this is a whole new world. I think that I've been saying this before. You can divide history in BB, before Barak, AB, after Barak.
This election has never been about me.
Peggy Joseph took her daughter out of school early Wednesday for this. Her emotions ran high following Obama's speech.
It was the most memorable time of my life. It was a touching moment because I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage. You know, if I help him, he's going to help me.
Well, some parents of elementary school students in Burlington, New Jersey are outraged to see video of their children singing a Christian spiritual song where the name of Jesus was substituted with President Obama's.
I mean, in a way, Obama's standing above the country, above the world. He's sort of God.
So I taste these herbs when I reached up with Obama.
Oh, it's such a blessing to see you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Oh, gracious God, thank you so much.
Where we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation. We are no longer a Christian nation. We are no longer a Christian nation.
I tremble for America.
Know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. But continue in the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith in Christ Jesus.
Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that.
First of all, giving honor to God and our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama.
I want to thank.
God is the one and only true living God, the creator of heaven and the universe. Jesus Christ is God.
Christ is Lord that day. I believe in that.
Antichrist! Show me
Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm? This work continues. The story goes on. And an angel still rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm. God bless you all. And God bless America.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. King. Yes, king. Sound it out. Get ready. King. Sound it out. Get ready. King. What word? King. Yes, king. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. What word? Steal. Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kick. Yes, kick. Get ready. Steal. Yes, steal. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 150.
Never see it coming.
Did Jesus really reveal the name of the Antichrist? I will report the facts. You can decide. In Luke chapter 10, verse 18, Jesus said these words, "And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from the heavens." These words are written in Greek and translated to English. However, Jesus spoke these words originally in Aramaic, which is the most ancient form of Hebrew. As you know, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew. If a modern Jewish rabbi were to speak these words of Jesus today, he would speak them in Hebrew, much the same way that Jesus would have spoken them. So in Hebrew, Jesus said that he saw Satan falling as lightning from the heights or from the heavens. So what are the words for lightning and heights or heavens in Hebrew? From the Strong's Hebrew Dictionary, word number 1299, a primitive root word meaning to lighten or lightning or to cast forth, the word is Barak. In the Strong's Hebrew Dictionary, word number 1300, lightning, or by analogy a gleam, a flashing sword, or a brightness or a glittering, the Hebrew word is Barak. So lightning, or a flash of light, in Hebrew is pronounced Barak or Barak. Now consider this amazing fact. The book of Isaiah is the source of origin for the Christian concept and understanding of Satan, or Lucifer, as Isaiah calls him, in chapter 14, especially in verses 12 through 19. In Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14, Lucifer, or Satan, is credited with these words, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." In the verses of Isaiah that refer directly to Lucifer, several times it is mentioned that Satan has fallen from the heights, or from the heavens. The Hebrew word used in this text for the heights from which Satan fell is Strong's Hebrew word 1116, pronounced Bama. Bama is most commonly used to refer to a high sacred place, as well as to the heights of the heavens or the clouds. In Hebrew, the letter Wa is often transliterated as a U. Some scholars use the O for this transliteration. It is primarily used as a conjunction to join concepts together. So to join in Hebrew poetry the concept of lightning, or Barak, and a high place like heaven or the heights of heaven, the letter U, or sometimes O, the Hebrew letter Wa, would be used. So, Barak o Bama, or Barak u Bama, in Hebrew poetry, similar to the style written in Isaiah, would translate literally as lightning, and the heights, or the heavens, or lightning from the heights of the skies, or the heavens. The word Satan is Satan in Hebrew, a direct translation. So back to Jesus' prophecy in Luke chapter 10, verse 18. If spoken by a Jewish rabbi today, influenced by the poetry of Isaiah, he would say these words in Hebrew, the words of Jesus in Luke chapter 10, verse 18 as, "And I saw Satan as Barak u Bama." Did Jesus reveal to us the name of the Antichrist? I report, you decide.
You think I'm joking? As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn and at the fall of dusk.
Talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that has not come. Islam on three continents. Islam on three continents.
So in this quick video, I want to talk about the number 666 and a very interesting correlation with the President Barack Obama that I found. As you know, the number 666 is the number of the beast of Revelation as read in the Bible. Revelation 13:18 says, "Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The number 666 has been pumped subliminally into our brains through music and the media for decades. I may make a video about this later, but for now, all I'm going to say about these people is that they are all whores. They do this for money. Whether they believe in it or not, they have already sold their souls for money. And it's not a conspiracy or a big coincidence. They know exactly why they do it, and they know who they are doing this for. But enough about them. Let's go over some facts. This is the Hebrew alphabet. Some of you may not know this, but the letters each have a numerical value to it, and this is due to a system that was used to denote dates in the Hebrew calendar. Now we're going to focus on the letter with the numerical value of 6, Vav, which is the equivalent to our W in English. With this bit of information, we can conclude that Vav Vav Vav, or 666, is also WWW. Kinda makes surfing the internet a little weird, huh? Yeah. And here's another thing. Here's Monster Energy Drink, which clearly has the Vav Vav Vav, and their slogan is Unleash the Beast. 666, the Beast of Revelation. Now, what does this have to do with Obama? Well, I first noticed this after looking at another video about a supposed Bible prophecy that had been fulfilled. If you'd like to know more about it, you can read The Harbinger by Jonathan Cahn. Anywho, back in 2012, Obama visited Ground Zero and signed one of the construction beams from this soon-to-be Freedom Tower. Now, knowing the facts that I just explained earlier regarding the Hebrew letter Vav, I was blown away when I saw the message that Obama wrote. Now, he could have written a million different things, inspirational quotes, or any sentimental message that could have read, in memory of, or to those who have fallen, or even for freedom or America. But instead, he wrote this: we remember, we rebuild, we come back stronger. Wow. Vav, vav, vav. WWW. 666. And notice how he made it so that we see the we's seem to be further apart from the rest of the message, so that, the W's can stand out. Now, I really don't think this is a coincidence. I think it was clearly intentional. He knew exactly what he was doing, what he was writing.
To 666 because 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. This is a reference to the identity of the number of the beast found in Revelation 13:18, which can be expressed as 6 cubed. Interestingly enough, the day Barack Obama was born, August 4th, is actually the 216th day of the year. This connects Obama with the number 666.
Yesterday, you might heard that first US-based company is microchipping their employees. Well, based on that fact, what's so special? What I'm trying to say here, you might heard this message many times from the world, all over, again and again, from the Christians' perspective. They were saying that this is a mark of the beast. Simple. 666, which is 666, that means mark of the beast, as Bible says in the Revelation. We will go a little deeper in that extra. Guess what? I'm going to tell you the same thing. Yes, it is the mark of the beast. But in this time, I'm going to give you a little further information, with the depth information, why it is the mark of the beast. Something different. We understand the microchip has been released, and as soon as it's released in US and become really famous and everyone talking about it, yes, of course. The thing is, as soon as I heard this message, I started to do some research in a sense, where this microchip coming from and who produced it, who manufactured it. And I come to understanding that was manufactured by the company called Biohacks. And we will come to that a little deeper later too. But when you go to that company website, and it's called Biohacks International. It's a company. It's based in Sweden. Okay, and including the logo means something. They, out of nowhere, they have named this microchip, the NFC tag, N tag 216. What that to do with this? What I'm trying to say? Simply, let's cut it quicker. 216. Think about it. 6 times 6, 36. 36 times 6, 216. Oh, Coincident, eh? Do you think that's coincident? No. As a mark of the beast, they're trying to tell us, hey, this is the mark of the beast. Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man, and his number is 666. There's a few things I like to point out here. That first, the first company, the US-based company, the name itself, many people can say it's coincidence, but think about it. The first company is tagged, it's called Wisconsin. Wis, if I break it into three things, wisdom, con, also, that's another meaning I like to tell you, and sin. Of course, sin, Wisconsin. And also, before I go to the detailized information, whoever produced this, they're also the manufacturer of these products is called Foxconn. Why these people are trying to bring that con, C-O-N information? Let me tell you also another thing. Why this bio, out of nowhere, the bio word came out also. Also, it's American Standard Text, which can be converted into a computer language. We also call hex mode. And I want to go deep into that. But when you convert this word, C-O-N, okay, you can do it by yourself later. And convert this, you can see the hex mode is 63, 6F, 6C, which is 666. It's not a coincidence again. And let's say I'm going to put a word bio, B-I-O. Simple, right? Convert that to hex mode. 62, 69, 6F, which is 666. Is it coincident? I don't think so. So bio, con, everything that in a hex conversion says 666. And here, they publicly, they're challenging, they're telling you people that this biochip's called NTAG 216, which is 666. What else do you want to know? What else you want me to prove to you? It's in your face. It's in front of you. Simply, they're mocking you people. They're mocking. They know what's about to come. Christians are crying out loud. They're saying, hey, this is the mark of the beast. Still, people don't want to believe it. And many people will take it as a joke. Think about it, people. This is not a joke. They specifically chose the name Tag 216, NTAG 216. They could have come up with some other random names. Why in this world he came with this number 216? And Biohacks, the company name itself, obviously 666, Bio, S-Con, 666. All this leads into one path, which is a path to hell, which is 666.
People. Okay, we're at Walmart and we're looking at the new Solo Health station. What's really unique about it is look at the scanner.
Show them that it's at your knee level.
Knee level.
For hand.
For your hand, where you can swipe your hand with the RFID chip. The questions it shouldn't really ask.
The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was passed in 2010, and the law makes health insurance available to more people with the hope that they will be able to get the care they need. The new law also makes it easier for individuals to shop and compare all the different health plans with the healthcare marketplace. And depending on their situation, some may even qualify to get help paying for their plan through a subsidy. So what does this mean for you? Well, it means that all citizens must have health insurance or suffer hundreds of dollars in tax penalties that will increase each year. However, if they already receive coverage from their job, nothing really changes. It means that all citizens must have health insurance or suffer hundreds of dollars in tax penalties that will increase each year. However, if they already receive coverage from their job, nothing really changes. Starting October 1st, the new healthcare marketplace opens up for those without coverage to compare different plans. Under the new law, insurance providers cannot deny those with pre-existing conditions. This is great news for most people looking to purchase health insurance, but there are many different plans to choose from, and finding the right one is not an easy task. If you would like to learn more about the upcoming changes to the healthcare system and how they affect you, select the Continue button at the bottom of the screen. After a few simple questions, we can have an experienced professional reach out to help you find the plan that fits your specific needs.
Obamacare at Walmart and the scanner for the RFID chip. All in one package. Here we go, folks.
There's something weird going on with Walmart. Are we now seeing the true form of one of the world's largest companies? Is Walmart an entity of the government, operating in the private sector, meant to usher in martial law? Is its purpose found even in its name? I will take you through 6 facts that expose Walmart's deep connection to the US government and its preparation for mandatory RFID chipping and martial law coming to the US. I would highly advise you to listen carefully to this entire video. The information contained in it is extremely important. Fact number 1. To understand the truth about Walmart, you first need a history lesson. The founder, Sam Walton, is long deceased, but his legacy is very much alive. What is he remembered for? Well, you may not know that Sam Walton was a part of the U.S. intelligence agency during World War II and a security chief over internment camps located inside of the United States. These camps held hundreds of thousands of whites of German and Italian descent and Asians of Japanese descent. They were held there after FDR violated their constitutional rights. Sam Walton oversaw these prisoners of war. The Walmart U.S. government connection is not new, you see. It goes way, way back. Armed with that information, let us continue to fact number 2. From 2001 through 2016, Walmart has received an estimated $50 to $100 billion in secret subsidies granted by the U.S. government. We know several industries are subsidized by the government to keep prices low. But why Walmart? There are entire websites dedicated to following Walmart's grants, tax breaks, and earmarks. These websites unanimously agree that Walmart has received tens of billions of dollars in kickbacks over the years. Why are they getting so much money? Is it merely to keep their prices low? Or is it for other expenditures? Fact number 3. Walmart has struck a deal with the U.S. government, hiring 130,000 reserve, active duty, and veterans in the United States over the past 3 years. A massive force of highly trained and skilled soldiers. It's an odd fact, because recently they just fired thousands of regular workers and closed 269 stores because of financial problems, or so they said. Walmart explained that their 2016 store closings were an attempt to save money. So why did they just hire 130,000 new employees? Of course, we always celebrate when veterans are treated with respect and given good jobs, but this is strange. 130,000 sounds more like a small army. In fact, Walmart's soldiers make up 10% of the company's total U.S. workforce. That is a huge proportion of new hires, especially for a company who just claimed that they had financial difficulty 6 months ago. What in the world is Walmart doing with its new army? Fact number 4. In the last 20 days, 24 homicides or attempted murders have happened on Walmart's premises around the United States. These crimes range from shootings to stabbings to arson to suicide to attempted vehicular homicide. Having reviewed these alleged crimes, I ask the question, are they even legitimate? Or are they FEMA exercises that Walmart is carrying out alongside the Department of Homeland Security? Many details from the Walmart crimes aren't adding up, and it makes me question the validity of the entire event. For example, I'll play a 911 call from the Amarillo, Texas Walmart shooting. In it, A witness says that 2 gunmen are clearly involved, but later, only one is killed by the SWAT team and no hostages are injured.
6-3 to base. Be advised, we got 1 suspect with a hostage in the... There is a second suspect somewhere in the store. We are in the store.
My question is, were Amarillo and other Walmart shootings legitimate? The audio in the Amarillo case told us that there were 2 shooters, not 1. Likewise, in other alleged massacres around the U.S., major discrepancies were made that could make one question the validity of the event. In San Bernardino, there were supposed to be 3 shooters, not 2. In Orlando, it was reported early on that 1 or 2 additional people were involved in the 3-hour rampage. People interviewed claimed that the additional people were holding the doors shut to prevent escape of clubgoers, yet police insist only Omar Mateen was involved. Why did these police reports contain so many contradictions to the witnesses of the event? Are these DHS exercises in preparation for an outbreak of anarchy in America? Fact number 5. Let's revisit a major point I brought up in a prior video about Walmart. The discounter is literally in the back pocket of the US government, cooperating on a variety of different initiatives. One of these was a massive introduction of RFID chipping into Walmart's supply chain back around 2003, introduced alongside the Department of Defense. Why was the DoD involved with Walmart on RFID? Walmart was also cooperating with DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano on an initiative to report suspicious people in their facilities. Why is the DHS working with Walmart on this? Additionally, several former Walmart executives are currently working for the U.S. government in FEMA positions in emergency preparedness. For example, Walmart disaster manager Brian Coons was appointed to spearhead Florida Emergency Response and Disaster Readiness Divisions. Why are these former Walmart executives being promoted in the government to major positions of disaster response? Fact number 6. Walmart has recently cooperated with Omar Mateen's former employer called G4S on initiatives in its U.S. stores involving security. Could there be a connection between what happened in Orlando and Walmart? Before I address this, I want to caution viewers. Please do not believe what you are being told on television about Orlando. The elites have already gotten what they want, and that is an outcry for heightened security. In order to have security, they'll have to take away guns. They'll have to use more biometrics and RFID to track you. They'll have to put up more cameras to watch you. We're living in 1984. Fear incited by Islamic terrorism is their tool of choice to get you to give in. Notice the cry for gun control after Orlando, the cry for more security. Do not be fooled by their agenda. The lamestream media has convinced everybody about Mateen's radical Islamic ties in order to scare you. I am not interested in the misleading Islamic terrorism narrative that began in 1945 and accelerated in 2001. The narrative is the same. Islamic terrorist attack happens, followed by calls for more gun control, the Patriot Act, more internet monitoring, more cameras, more things to stop a future event like this from happening. It's the same response every single time. Once bin Laden got old, once he didn't cause the fear that they needed him to cause, they got rid of him. And then they created scary ISIS. Mateen's ISIS connection is a fabrication to get you to submit. I'm not buying it. I am more interested in his 9-year career with a company called G4S, which is the largest security company in the world. If you've ever seen the movie Resident Evil, G4S might bring to mind the Umbrella Corporation, a secretive organization that operates in the shadows. G4S is the third largest employer in the world with a virtual stranglehold over cybersecurity and cyber data in almost every country. It does have other interests, however, including RFID chipping. The company states on its website that one of its goals is to use RFID to track assets and people anywhere in the world. Back in 2011, G4S put in a patent request with the US government for an RFID device that would be used to track people who were incarcerated. No joke. The RFID device is tamper-resistant, worn on the hand or wrist, and is meant to tag and follow prisoners. The patent was just made public in February of 2016, and now G4S will work closely with Walmart. An article published in April of 2016 indicates that Walmart and G4S quietly signed a deal, an agreement on a huge initiative that will change Walmart's entire system of payment in all stores. There will be a gradual rollout of the new system until it is fully implemented. In conclusion, I believe there is beyond ample evidence to suggest that Walmart is serving a major purpose as we head toward the Marshall State.
This is Obama's stage at the Democratic Nominating Convention in Denver in 2008, designed to look like a Greek temple. It's strange enough that Obama made a temple his stage, a place of worship, but Obama's nomination temple appears to be modeled after the Pergamon altar, a special place. This is a Pergamon altar which is on display at the Pergamon Museum in Berlin, Germany, only a few hundred yards from the place where Obama gave a speech a couple of months before the convention. The Pergamon altar is special because it is mentioned in the biblical book of Revelation and is called in Revelation the seat or throne of Satan. The Greek god Zeus and pagan idols were worshipped at Pergamon. However, more importantly, Caesar Augustus, the ruler of Rome, was worshipped as a god at Pergamon. An early Christian named Antipas was sacrificed there because he refused to worship the pagan gods of Pergamon. Antipas was burned alive at this altar inside a hollow bronze bull. Hitler's architect, Albert Speer, also modeled the tribune at the Zeppelin field in Nuremberg after the Pergamon altar. This fact is mentioned in the documentary film The Architecture of Doom. This is the Zeppelin field at Nuremberg, one of the sites where Hitler had his National Reichstag rallies. Hitler also sacrificed 10 million Christians as well as Jews by gassing and burning them to death. Obama's temple looks even more like the Pergamon altar than Hitler's did. Obama is the most prominent follower of the radical anarchist Saul Alinsky. Alinsky dedicated his book, Rules for Radicals, to Lucifer. It is a textbook for revolutionary radical activists, and Lucifer was the first revolutionary, as Alinsky points out. Black liberation theology teaches that the black race is the manifestation of God on earth, and that a black Messiah will lead the destruction of white society, the traditional Christian church, and America as we have known it. That man is God is a Luciferian concept. You may recall from the Bible, Lucifer was cast out of heaven because he wanted to be on a higher level than God. The self-worship of man can be considered a form of Satanism. This is actually the kind of belief that the Nazis had, that the Aryan race is God, and that Adolf Hitler was the Messiah. The stage design is unlikely to be accidental because there have been so many references by his own supporters to Obama being the Messiah or a god, and the doctrine of his own church actually teaches that concept. It seems more likely to be a provocation. Obama loves for his opponents to call him the Antichrist because he can use it to make them look hysterical and to motivate his supporters. But I think it's also a play on his own religious belief. Because they can't normally say it openly in public, occultists have used ambiguous symbolism like this for hundreds of years to hint to others what their beliefs are. Saul Alinsky tied his book to Lucifer because he realized that he is using the same principles. It seems that Obama is pointing to his own relationship to Lucifer with what appears to be the dedication of his campaign to the great deceiver.
An absolutely surprising find by the P.P. Simmons staff at the end of this video. One of the unexplained mysteries in the all but missing documentation of the early life of Barack Obama is the appearance of the name Sobarka as his last name on an official document filled out by his mother. We are in possession of Stanley Ann Dunham Sotoro's 1968 application to extend her 1965 passport for an additional 2 years. Her passport, by the way, is now reportedly destroyed. On the second page of the application, Ann Dunham attempted to exclude her son Barack Obama, or Sobarka, from her passport, but the item has been crossed out, perhaps on the advice of the consulate in Jakarta, as this would have left 7-year-old little Barry passportless, so the exclusion did not happen. The appendage Sobarka seems to indicate a name change or a change in citizenship status for the boy. But there is a very good and surprisingly simple explanation for the seemingly random appearance of the name Sobarka on Obama's mother's passport application. Believe it or not, the reason appears to be linked to Loretta Fuddy. That's right. The same Loretta Fuddy, the Hawaii State Health Director who approved the release of Obama's long-form birth certificate and who recently and mysteriously died in a plane crash off the coast of Molokai. Obama's mother and Loretta Fuddy have one very strange factor in common. Both have been directly linked to the Subud Cult, which originated in, of all places, Indonesia, and was founded by the Javanese Muslim Muhammad Sabu. The small cult appears to have around 20,000 members worldwide. Fuddy's cult member name was Diliana. Her official position was regional helper. Note also that the World Subud organization seems to have been based in, of all cities, Chicago. Wow, think about it. Indonesia, Chicago, Hawaii, 3 locales linked directly and very importantly to Obama's life. We also know from a Hawaii Advertiser article that Subud was introduced to Hawaii in the 1960s. Obama's mother was directly linked to Subud by her biographer and New York Times reporter Janie Scott in the book A Singular Woman, The Untold Story of Barack Obama's Mother. This book was reviewed by the New York Times, so this is a heavily documented fact. Loretta Fuddy worked her way up the ranks and became chairwoman of Subud USA, based in Seattle, from 2006 to 2008. But note that of all the persons that could have been installed as director of the State Department of Health in Hawaii, Hawaii chose Fuddy, a leader of a small cult with roots in Indonesia and connections to Barack Obama's mother. Secondly, remember that Fuddy assumed the directorship position in Hawaii in January 2011 after being appointed by Hawaii's governor just a few months before the release of Obama's long-form birth certificate. Changing one's name for spiritual reasons was something frequently done by followers of the cult Subud, and Stanley Ann Sotoro was in fact closely associated with Subud. We know that. It is reasonable then to suppose that Sobarka, the name chosen for Obama on that passport, arose in the same way new names for others, like Diliana Loretta Fuddy did. But remember that the name Sobarka appears in the passport renewal section labeled Amend to Include or Exclude Children. The name Barack Hussein Obama Sobarku is crossed out. This signifies that Obama's mother had apparently decided to exclude Barack from her passport renewal. Apparently, Stanley Ann Dunham Sotoro changed her mind about the exclusion. Perhaps this was done after having been informed by the consulate there that doing so would leave Barack without a passport. But there is another possibility, one just as valid and even simpler. What if Obama's mother was trying to include Obama in the renewal, but she wasn't able to produce a birth certificate? and the Subud name Subarka simply did not suffice legally. That could explain why the name Subarka appears nowhere else in any of Obama's documentation of which we are currently aware. But now for the real shocker in this entire matter. The staff at P.P. Simmons did some research and found an old picture of the founder of the cult of Subud, one Mohammed Sabu Sumohadi Wijojo. Do you see anything odd here? Think about it. Fuddy, Obama's mother Dunham, Subud, Hawaii, Chicago, Indonesia, no birth certificate, Subarka on the passport, a dead Hawaii Department of Health director, the one who conveniently certified Obama's forged and fabricated long-form birth certificate. Are all of these simply odd coincidences, or is there something more here? I have a feeling we will soon know the truth.
Here's what I can guarantee. I'll be back. The next time I'm back, I may not be wearing a suit. Yes, we can. He'll say. He'll say that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. That's big. The end of the republic has never looked better.
Satan.
If you are the Son of God, command that this stone becomes bread.
Man shall not live by bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God.
Now, just quickly onto the serious questions. Very, very quickly. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's a quick fire question round. White House down or Olympus has fallen?
Didn't see either of them.
You have to make a choice.
I didn't see either of them. How can I make a choice?
White House down.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
White House down.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
White House down.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Big story. There has been an explosion.
Absolutely shocking.
Officials searching for answers as to who, what, or why this.
We are also getting unconfirmed reports of explosions.
Was used as a diversion. The situation has changed completely.
What the hell is happening?
Somebody tell me something!
Here's what I can guarantee. I'll be back. The next time I'm back, I may not be wearing a suit.
Obamacare is great, and it's really working. Sign up now.
Is this the image of the beast that speaks? Revelation 13:15. He is granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Is it a coincidence that Barack Obama has been chosen for this artificial intelligence technology? Watch this video and you decide.
Given this audio as input,
It's been less than a week since the deadliest mass shooting in American history.
our method produces the following output.
It's been less than a week since the deadliest mass shooting in American history. And foremost in all of our minds has been the loss and the grief felt by the people of Orlando,
Here's the ground truth video of Obama saying the same words.
especially our friends who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. I visited with the families of many of the victims on Thursday, and one thing I told them is that they're not alone.
To demonstrate the power of the method, we apply the same input speech mapped to 4 different target videos. Note that all 4 are synthetic and have different lighting conditions.
The auto industry, to help families refinance their homes, to invest in things like high-tech manufacturing, clean energy, and the infrastructure that creates good new jobs. Not to mention the job training that helps folks earn new skills to fill those jobs. The results are clear.
Because our approach requires only audio, we can generate a high-quality head close-up even when the original source video has low resolution or the head is occluded.
We do one Christmas trip on Small Business Saturday. I usually go out there with the girls, and the last couple of years we've gone to bookstores.
Okay.
Because the nice thing about a bookstore is you can cover a lot of ground. You can get books for, you know, the 6-year-old niece. You can get books for your mother-in-law. You know, I think we're in a moment of history where probably the most important thing we need to do is to bring the country together. And one of the skills that I bring to bear is being able to pull together the different strands of American life. And
here's an older Obama speaking his words from a quarter century ago.
Although I'm honored, and I think people can say that my election symbolizes some progress, at least within the small confines of the legal community, I think it's real important to keep the focus on the broader world out there and see that
And Barak himself, President Obama, came forward, and I thought this was going to be big news, but I guess people didn't really understand the implications of it. But Barack Obama himself came forward and announced that he was releasing the restrictions on federal funding to stem cell research. Mm-hmm. But he added that he felt human cloning for reproduction, which left out the idea of human cloning for scientific study, was an abomination and should not be practiced in any nation. But at the same time, he opened the door by allowing now to have federal funding go into the stem cell research. People hear stem cell research and they think, well, you know, you might be able to grow a new liver, you might be able, but this is the foundation of cloning.
So you think Obama is a clone of Akhenaten then?
Let's get to that. Let's have a look at this. All right. Now, I've established the idea that Akhenaten is the go-to guy for all the secret societies, from Rosicrucians to Freemasonry. If you also understand that Akhenaten was, well, the carrier of all this knowledge, the renegade, you would understand why they would bring him back out of all people. And like I say, the Hastings Institute even went forward and said this. Well, you know what? I put this picture. Let's start with Michelle, since we have her. Let's look at Akhenaten's mother, Queen T. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Akhenaten's mother, Queen T, is a mystery as well. She was brought into the pharaonic ship at the age of 4 and was co-regent with her husband, Amenhotep III, who you can see in the Colossi of Memnon, if you want to see. They have mammoth, the biggest statues of pharaohs are of Queen T and her husband, Amenhotep III. And they gave birth to Akhenaten. Now, when you look at Queen T, I would imagine you would immediately see Michelle Obama. Now, what I did is I took Michelle Obama's high school photo and I cut it in half. And I laid these two images side by side, and you can't tell I split the photo. People are using my mixed image as an original image of Queen T, because you can't even tell her face is there. If you got that picture of her high school photo and you were to crossfade these two images, you would clearly see that they are the same person.
Well, I mean, it's it's a stretch. It's, you know, resemblance. We know resemblance occurs across culture. I mean, across time periods.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right. If it was one face,
it's a resemblance. I'm not gonna deny that. But I think.
Well, you got to see it split. You're looking at it. you put half of Michelle's face on that picture, and we'll get to the picture. You'll see.
Yeah.
And I would give that to you. And I would think the same thing. Now, honestly, if you want to look at the next picture, Barak Akhenaten, when I put this artwork together, I really only put Barak, his Time magazine photo, with Akhenaten. And I split, again, the faces in half. Now, I'll admit here live on television that I did not manipulate, squish, or do anything to make that face fit the other face. They just fit. I cut them straight in half and I put them together and they are an exact match. So now we have two faces of a single family of Egypt and a single family that is the first family. All right? So you're looking at Akhenaten split with Barack Obama, and you're looking at Queen T split with Michelle Obama. And then I learned, lo and behold, that Akhenaten had two favorite daughters. And I said, nah, this can't be. So I dug out the images of Akhenaten's two daughters. And I'll tell you, Malaya and Sasha have very unique facial structures compared to each other, whereas Sasha has kind of the pudgier cheeks and Malaya is a little skinnier. They are an exact match of Akhenaten's children. So now you have four faces that you're dealing with. Okay, so we're dealing with the fact that you can clone a mummy, that cloning has been going on since 1951, that if the secret societies in charge of our planet were going to bring back anyone in the world, it would be this man. And now we've got this mysterious man who we call Barack Obama, and I'd like to get into more of him a little bit later. Of course, he's Barry Soetoro, Barry Dunham. Nobody knows what his name is, and I predict that is
no one knows where he's born. No one knows his real identity, right?
Exactly.
He was born on Krypton.
Exactly.
And if Michelle is a man, that's another question now that's been posed.
Well, you know, the pharaohs were very manly, and Queen Hatshepsut was another one of these female pharaohs. Now, remember, Queen T was a pharaoh. Queen Hatshepsut, who also has an amazing temple that no one can explain how it was created, she would actually wear a beard so that she could stand up there as pharaoh. So these pharaonic women were very much into being manly. So I can understand when Joan Rivers comes out and says that Obama is our first gay president and that Michelle's actually a transvestite. But my theory's been running a whole lot longer, and my evidence continues to compound on itself instead of degrade.
Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun YouTube channel. I don't necessarily believe in bad omens or anything, but there's some interesting things to point out about the recent Triple Crown winner, American Pharaoh. Now, first off, American Pharaoh is already kind of a suspicious name for a horse. We know that we sort of live in a time when one might suggest that we are moving further and further away from the original intentions of how this country was supposed to be run. But in any case, as a few people have pointed out, first off, you have Monster Drink being a sponsor. And you see the jockey here wearing the 666 hat, the Triple Tav hat. But not only that, the day in which the Triple Crown was crowned was on June 6th, 2015. That's 6, 6, and then 15 adds to 6, 5 and 1, 666. Now again, could be pure coincidence, or it just might be some sort of ominous sign.
You, Maester Hinky, stand here accused of using the dark magic known as analytics. This here knucklehead has blasphemed against the ways of the old school.
This heretic would have me rest my players. I say, run them all.
I mean, this notion that losing leads to winning. I mean, come on.
This guy used his sorcery to force me to make bad trade and give him all my draft picks.
Well, I don't know about that, Ronnie. These analytics fools would have you believe the Earth is round. Do you see a curve anywhere? I mean, I'm just asking questions.
And now, with the hot hand, Sir Evan Turner is going to light Iggy on fire from a mid-range distance. Commence the long two.
Not clutch.
You know, the guillotine's probably more efficient.
Man, shut up, witch. All right, let's try again to light the heretic on fire.
Not today, Luddites. It's Barack Obama!
Tan horse, really?
That's right. It is I, Barack Obama, 44th President of the realm, defender of rational thought and the use of data to make informed
Show us your birth certificate!
I'll be taking the numbers man with me.
Thanks, Obama. But where will we go?
To a place far away, where innovation and new ideas are welcome. The MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference.
First of all, giving honor to God and our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Be still and know that I am God, that I am God, that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Tonight, for the first time, I am releasing my official birth video. Let's take a look. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
You will never see it coming. That I would bring about the biblical end of days.
Hey, Prince Harry, remember when you told us to bring it at the Invictus Games?
Careful what you wish for.
Oh, really? Please.
So come on and take it easy yourself before you wreck yourself.
Definitely at my age and Barack's age, we're not ready to stop. We're not ready to stop.
Are you ready? And before I go on, these are all portraits of United States presidents, official portraits in the US Presidential Portrait Gallery there in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. So one of these portraits is slightly different. Can you tell which one it is?
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell?
It's that one. Isn't that one there?
Not like the other.
Yeah.
By the time
It's that one there. Of course, there was just a little bit of Sesame Street in there in the background. It's actually this portrait here, which is the newly unveiled portrait there of Barack Obama. A lot of people, it's getting a lot of criticism. This is a very short video. I'm not going to go into this too much. But he's getting a lot of criticism there for it being seemingly quite odd, because it's such a serious role, of course, the presidency of the United States, and that is the portrait of Obama that's going to be in the gallery. Now, hey, whatever, guess you get to choose your own portraits there in the National Portrait Gallery. But what's interesting about this is the background of this artist right here. Very odd background there. Some people are saying that he's racist. Why are they saying he's racist? Well, let's jump over to the Washington Times article here. And you've got this. Well, Washington Times is quite a respected publication. Barack Obama's portrait artist, don't know how to say his first name, Wiley, painted black women beheading white women. So as you can see there is one example of that. There are more. If we go down a lot, well, that doesn't seem to show it. Press click read more. Read more down here. Here it is. So there is one portrait there, and this is in the Virginia Museum of Fine Art. Shows a African-American woman there in classic black Neapolitan from the 1970s garb, kind of that kind of, powerful African-American woman, severing the head of this Caucasian woman. Now let's go down a little bit further. Oh, it seems it's not like a singular event. Here's another one. Another severing of the head here. Well, it looks like some kind of African princess or queen. Got like a little tiara or some kind of thing on the head, severing this woman's head with a knife. So there is the actual strange background of the artist that Barack Obama chose to paint his painting. Of course, there is a lot more to that, but another little oddity here about this artist, which we'll point out very quickly. This is if we jump over to the Gateway Pundit here, reading from the Gateway Pundit. Researchers noticed this oddity to the portrait itself, and you see these replications here. Well, these are exact mirror replications here, not mirrors, sorry, that would make them backwards. They're actually exact replicas of the same thing. So where is this technique used? If you had to guess, where would you say this technique of replication in paintings is used? Well, it's used by Chinese labor painters, as the Gateway Pundit states, and if you do a little bit of research, you can see that this is a technique used by Chinese labor painters to replicate things. So, if an art expert was looking at paintings, he would be able to tell, or she would be able to tell, where it originated just on this replication technique, which seems specific to Chinese labor workers, and also specific of more low-end artwork, mass-produced, because these Chinese labor workers are used to mass-producing lots of artwork, landscapes, things like that, and this technique stays with them even when they're doing things like this, so you can see it in their work. So you might think, well, but the artist themselves is an American. Well, yes, but ask yourself, where are they based? Because this is in the hands of someone that's standing there with a little brush actually painting each thing. You don't paint the exact same things. Well, the artist is actually based in Beijing. So they've been living in Beijing for quite a while, since 2006. Because why? Because the artist says it's cheaper for them to find labor out there. The fact is these paintings are probably created by Chinese labor artists, not actually by this artist themselves.
Very fish, it's still the 12th of February, 2018, and I started to look into these portraits of the Obamas that were unveiled today at the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., and I didn't get too far. But what I wanted to look into actually was the painter, the artist, right? So I actually did start looking in on him a little bit. I didn't get too far, and I had to do some stuff. And I come back, and Miss Sadie Hastings YouTube sent me a beautiful message to inform me that she found an article on this website here called Red State Watcher, which I never go here, but on here, and we look here, well, look what we learned about the painter who painted Obama's portrait. And now my browser, of course, is sticking and hanging up, and everything's going to fail on me now. But anyway, he links some Twitter feeds here, and one of them's Joe Biggs, used to be on InfoWars. So I'll give these guys kudos for getting this out there. But this guy also loves to do portraits of women, primarily black women, dressed in all kinds of gold and scarlet, chopping off the heads of white women. I guess that's one of his favorite things to paint. This fellow here who likes to hold his hands in a strange Masonic type of manner there, So he loves to paint black women with crowns and gold and scarlet and everything, chopping off the heads of primarily white women. So I thought that was something I couldn't just go have supper without sharing with you real quick. So that's a good way to start off this little conversation about our ex-president 44. So there you have it, y'all. You have a good night. Seek Jesus if you don't know him. It's a perfect night for it.
Barack Obama!
A tan horse, really?
That's right. It is I, Barack Obama, 44th President of the realm, defender of rational thought and the use of data to make informed...
Show us your birth certificate!
I'll be taking the numbers, man, with me.
Thanks, Obama. But where will we go?
To a place far away, where innovation and new ideas are welcome. The MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference.
First of all, giving honor to God and our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Be still and know that I am God, that I am God, that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the earth.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Tonight, for the first time, I am releasing my official birth video. Let's take a look. will be exalted among the nations, will be exalted in the earth.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
You will never see it coming. That I would bring about the biblical end of days.